Hey, what's going on? Um, Hold on. Give me a second. Let me share. Let me just share this. So, what's going on? This is BMT coming at you. Well, actually, I'm not coming at you. I'm gonna just talk to y'all uh, about, my 10-year time in this space. And I'm gonna get some stuff off my chest on how I directly feel about stuff. I'm not doing this one for views. I'm not doing this one for likes. I would not be surprised if this one does not even get really watched. But I understand very well um, that this is more so swept under the rug and more so turned a blind eye towards. And this is why I don't take and I never will ever take this space seriously. I didn't come here. I didn't come here to make money. Never came here for fame. I never came here to have a whole kumbaya moment or anything. To actually be a part of anything. People say, well, you can make a lot of money here. I can make money off of social media. What's going on, Mo? What's going on, Mano? But I came here because of my feelings of things that have happened to me in my life, and I wanted to bring awareness. Thank you. Please like and share the video. Um, if you so choose. But I'm gonna tell you that today, of course, I mean yesterday, there was a man that when he was in an argument on a channel, thought it was he thought it was his high point to make fun or bring up my sexual abuse. So if you don't know, or some people don't know, I am a victim of child molestation and child abuse, child trafficking. I was assaulted, raped many, many, many times over. I've had a lot of things done to me by adults. I gave up on faith. I had given up on humanity. I had given up on black people. I had given up on God. I had thrown all those things asunder because when you are a child and you're laying on a mattress, when you're laying there on the floor, you have welt marks and all that stuff, and you're like, man, the people that you want to protect you are the same egregious people that are doing harm to you. You learn how to mentally shut out the things that happen to you and just tell yourself, I just need to cut off my humanity because these inhuman creatures do not see me as one. And then I fast forward in my life, and I'm gonna tell you right now, my life has never been an easy journey. I am a proud father. I'm a proud family man. I have a good family. I'm saying I take very good care of my people. And when I came out, see, at first I was hesitant to come out because I watched the climate, the climate of men and women who have come out in my community and get their teeth kicked in, who have had jokes made light of what happened to them, where I've been told that that's a part of nature. I've seen a lot in this space. And see, we can pull up sound bit after 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 sound bit. This is why I don't really have no smoke sometimes when I seem like I've run into more like-minded people behind closed doors when we have talked about this stuff, and I see the nature of this space for what it truly is. I see I can own up to my sexual deity. I know my mental stigmas and problems. I go to therapy. I'm not afraid to shame that. I'm not afraid to say I have delinquency and stuff that I did with. I don't have no charges. I've never been in trouble with the police. I've never had those kind of issues. I've never touched on children. I am a proud component of going to schools that have helped children, that have talked with families about sexual abuse and education. I have gone to churches to talk to people to try to educate them about trauma and stop telling people to just get over it. I have done a lot using my money, my time, my life to help educate people. And I found it interesting when I came here. When I came here, I always find it interesting that when it comes to talking about trauma and abuse towards people of color, that it literally is made a mockery, especially among their own. You know, there's this type of stigma that if you're gay, you were sexually abused. It's not true. I know a lot of men and women that were sexually abused and they have healthy families, but they still deal with demons. They still have problems. They still have night terrors. They still have the hands and palms sweat. They still have episodes. They have either they have things to try to cope with the issue. But one thing that they don't really get is support. But see, then you start hearing other people start complaining about when they go to outsource areas. And don't get me wrong, because I know other groups have it. I'm not going to say that they don't have it. I'm not going to be ignorant and say well other groups, but I am talking to this space because I've had a lot of men and women when I talked about my sexual trauma and abuse. And I listen, I ain't get paid for that. You know what I've been called? I've been called FAG. I was called all kind of names up and down, all because of my thing. I was called, I literally got dragged. And I said, why am I surprised? Why am I surprised by the most sexualized group of people that literally have been dragged about overcompensation for sexuality? That literally the biggest and hottest topic or biggest people in this space have made their money off of talking about sex, sexual gratification, access to pussy and dick, a whole scrutiny of things, the same things that literally are the biggest problems in our community. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised that when somebody actually talks about it and actually brings awareness to it, literally that would be a problem? You got to show me where I'm wrong. Y'all can check my resume. Y'all can check my resume on my channel. I have for years talked about sexual abuse, trauma, domestic violence, psychological violence, and all that stuff. I've talked about that for years on my channel. For years. Consistency. While everybody else is like, well, you made that up. I said, well, how can I make that up? Literally, that's something. What would I gain out of making something like that up? Let me know. Where why would anybody want to joke about molestation when literally that's one of the biggest issues that we have going on with human and child trafficking in the country? Why would anybody want to talk? Why would anybody want to joke about that? Most men don't even come out and speak about abuse that has happened to them. And literally they get told by certain social media narratives that literally that's what makes you a man by getting sexualized or doggone getting touched by an adult. Women, they got their own problems. I'm not gonna pretend like I know, but I can say that the women will more so easily be received than the men. But a black man in this space, a black man in this space, talking about that, that's a that's a no go. That's a no go. God doesn't shine down on me, not in this space, not around these kind of people. But I'm gonna lie, when I did leave out this space and started talking with other people, when I started talking with other people, I found more solace. I shouldn't have to find solace talking about abuse and bringing awareness with people that are non-black. I thought I would be able to find it with my people. What's going on, brother Aaron Collins? What's going on, Kelly? But then you wonder why the same people that do get abused, they make it their point contingency number one to come back and be the bane of our people's existence. Because when you overlook them, when you overlook those traumas, they make sure that they don't go unhurt. I never, I have no problem camming up my lifestyle. I'm proud of my life. I have no problem showing my interaction with my children, but I wanted to show empowerment that men are trying to be protectors and providers in this space for the children. I don't think we have enough of that. Never made fun of anybody's sexual abuse. I've never. You would have to show me where I made fun of somebody who was as a child being sexually abused. I've never said that one time out my mouth that your story is fake. That's one of the first things in history that they always do sexually abused victims. That's not real. You made that up. Don't worry about that. Maybe you imagined that. So then when you tell that to a child that it's not real, that it's something that couldn't have happened, it was a figment of their imagination. When they go to an adult and they literally say, yo, I am desperately asking for help, and you send them away, you just crushed that child's chances of ever having faith in humanity. I've then gone to ministers, pastor, guardians. Hell, I remember when I went to my parents. Pray about it. Give it to Jesus, he said. You'll get over it. That's why I know, listen, I know I am the only man in this space, the only black male content creator in this algorithm that literally has left the algorithm, come back and left, that has ever talked about sexual abuse. From me. Now, I ain't bring up nobody, I just talk from me. I don't care. I ain't what story. Whose story? Who? Why would I need to memorize some other person's narrative? It's my life. My life. I don't need. I don't have to try to memorize somebody else's life because I remember my life. I remember the things that happened to me. I remember the things that happened to those around me. That's why I don't mind going to centers or places where other people who have gone through what I've gone through, and we can sit down and talk in solace. I don't even came up for those kind of interactions. You know why? Because doggone it, I know that it takes a lot of courage to come out and talk about it. Even me as a grown man, I even sometimes I get choked up when I do stories about it because immediately already revert back to those moments in my life. That's why I have to drink water. That's why my eyes keep burning and tearing up. That's why my mind keep going on the fritz. But when I have to consistently stay focused while talking about a story that is re-triggering, y'all don't know how it's like literally, I literally crack my back wisdom molar teeth just talking about some of these horrific stories to bring light to them. So when people start, this is why, like I said, I don't take this space seriously. I don't. This space will never get off the ground. Will never. It's cursed because we don't like to look at what the traumas of abuse and sexualization that have been going on in our own backyard, in our own house. Everybody like to say, well, the daddy was in the home. Well, the mommy was in the home. Well, guess what? If the parents were together, guess what, B? It still be happening. Nice narrative, nice story, nice bedtime story. Well, if the dad was there, he'll protect. Most people have a dad in the home or have access to parents, and guess what? They still don't say nothing. So that's how I know a lot of y'all are not educated. Because most traumatized victims, they have access to tell somebody, but they don't tell nobody because they rather keep it inside because the shame and guilt of what just happened to them, they don't say nothing. So this is why I know this is why I get frustrated and I grit my teeth because I hear the idiocracy of stupidity that comes out. Y'all like talking about advocacy for men, but it's funny when y'all like talking about advocacy for black men, y'all never are here in droves for this conversation. Let it be about child support. Y'all like to show up for that. Huh? Come on. Where the black men at for this one? Yeah, not too long ago, y'all were there for talking about, I don't know, child support, high value, confidence, jobs, and all that other stuff. But y'all not here for talking about sexualization of being sexually abused. All right, why am I not surprised? Y'all like that, the gossip. This is never one of the hot topics. As long as it's messy, as long as it's the feel good of gratification of slander, as long as it's about checking a bitch. Oh, let it be about this conversation. Where's the black man's voice for this one? Hmm? It's amazing to me. Bet you if I would have put child support in the goddamn topic, bet you if I would have put red pill or MGTOW in the topic, I'm sure motherfuckers would have showed up for this one. Bet you if I would have put hashtag divestment, SYSBMs, it more. Hmm? Do I need to put B1? Do I need what do I need to put to actually get motherfuckers in this space to actually give a fuck about this one? Hmm? What do I need to? Do I need to put conservatives, liberals, LGBTQ? Hmm? What's going on, Auntie? I gotta moderate you. I've been doing this one for years, 5 years strong. 9 co-host members that are from different, diverse backgrounds in the community and out. I have always been willing to work with people. Hold on. Let me fix this. There we go. Y'all always wanted to ask the question about why the sexual deviancy is so bad in this space. I always hear, well, we got to get the women to understand. We got to get the men. We got to bring a listen, man. I'm not gonna lie. The women have a better support system about when it comes to sexual abuse than the black men do. Hands down, bar none. If I had to talk about sexual abuse, I'm not going to black men. I'm gonna just be honest. If I had to talk about sexual abuse or traumatization, there is no protection for black men amongst black men. There is none. You might as well go ahead over there to the females. Excuse me, the women. I would rather go over and deal with black women or deal with non-black essential people or deal with the LGBTQ. I would rather go elsewhere to talk about sexual trauma and abuse than talk to black men. And I don't give a shit how y'all feel about that. It is what it is. And it's the gospel goddamn truth. But everybody else gives more of a fuck about it than black men. Prove me wrong. It's all a fucking joke. I've seen I've seen a lot of that shit. I've seen a lot of it. That's why I get why I come off weird in this space. I get why I get why I come off weird. I don't even give a fuck. I don't even give a fuck to try to fit in this space no more. I'm not really I'm never gonna fit in. This is why I'm good amongst my family, around my ilk, amongst my channel. Thank God I have a good social network building around my people. Oh, thank you, Kelly. And I'm not going to say there aren't other social media channels. There are other social media outlet content creators that have not tried to talk about it, but we just know that the voice or literally the talking points about sexualization or sexual trauma or abuse of black children, it's not taken fucking serious here. It's not. You would think that would be one of the main talking points since we like talking about children, child support, abuse, neglect, anything that deals with rearing and guardianship. You would think that would be one of the main talking points. It's not. It's not. But then all of a sudden, motherfuckers start having. Well, should have chose better. She should have chose better. I wonder how did that guy get like that? How did that man get like that? How did that woman get like that? How did they mentally get fucked up? How did they end up, as you like to say, thought culture, whole culture? Thank you, Aaron. We always like to look at the after effects of when people go beyond the threshold. When people go beyond that talking point of when they just give zero fucks and they go into all of a sudden, they go beyond to where they either start even predatorily abusing people. What's going on, Kaz? To where they start abusing people, children get abused, daughters get raped, sons get abused and beat on, or children get abused and beat on. Everybody likes to always talk about the after effects of what happens to men and women and children. But see, I always notice nobody ever liked to doggone get to it before. No, I don't blame you, buddy. I don't blame you, Ken. I've been offered. I've been offered plenty of times to leave and go on other channels. I know motherfucker. Well, to go ahead and leave. Go ahead and leave, DMT. And motherfucker, don't believe. Trust to believe. I've had left. And y'all always want, and people wonder, well, why is it that this space, you think it's growing? Why would this space grow? You're not pushing. Thank you, Cleaner the Sun. I always ask, I said, what are you lobbying for? What are you lobbying for? What honestly are you putting up that actually brings out awareness of things towards your cause or your movement? You see, when I go to a victim trauma center and I see a politician show up there, see, I know his intentions of why he or she is there because they already know right off the bat that literally that's going to be an easy lobbying talking point to garner attention and money and revenue. So guess what? Funding is going to come up. Programs are going to come up. work key jobs and things to help these people get back on track on their life. See, I guess if people actually understood how the system actually works, see, I do this, baby. I literally do this. This is why when y'all talk to me about this little bullshit little trinkets of YouTube, I'm like, sorry, you don't play in the big boy pool. You're playing in the kiddie pool. Show me what y'all make on here on YouTube is child's play to what I see the lobbying millions of dollars go through in centers, work fees, grant checks are being put out towards certain talking points like the one I'm talking about right now. I can tell you right now. Start going into those kind of things, you'd be surprised. You'll have medical facilities hitting you up. You'll have all kinds of people hitting you up. Why? Because they want to know what can we do to literally get your voice out there, to get your talking points out there, to actually try to bring awareness to these kind of things. Oh, I see, way out there. But then I say, well, damn. What about the black men? So the black woman understood to bring awareness to it. That's why they have an awareness. That's why they have awareness and their voices are out there and that kind of stuff. The white woman did. Heck, the white child understood that. The Indian child out there in the slums even had enough sense to do that. Different groups understand, you know what, like understand, listen, like they understand to put it out there. The most every time we hear about these sexual abuse of victims, shout out to Chief about it. Well, I don't know if I need to go do a slavery film. So a slavery film of a young black boy laying down and getting rolled by a white master or some stuff. Do I need to do that? So I understand that talking about these type of things doesn't feel comfortable. I understand that literally that whenever it comes to most political sides, whether it be Republican or Democrat, we're going to always bring up sexualization, trauma, and abuse. So whenever we have these conversations, see, it's not taken seriously so much. And you know what? Hey, it is what it is. The biggest platform in this space, and I will give it credence in respect to that, was on the B1 network. As much as people don't like them, I have to give I have to give that at least to Taz and Nyla on that one. Regardless of the relationship, they did allow me to come on their platform and bring awareness. She did do her interview. Mimi was there. She sat in the background to keep me encouraged. So I did tell my story. I mean, I've already talked about it before, not been the first time. I know I've done it plenty of times over here. But I actually did talk about it to try to bring some enlightenment to it. So I will not take that away that somebody did not want to talk to me about it. Some of y'all biggest content creators in this space have been sexually abused, have been raped, molested, probably either impregnated or have a baby. You know, even now my hands are sweating really bad. I like trying to keep my child. I like trying to keep my child safe. All of my children. I like trying to give voice to people who don't have a voice. because that means they have a chance to get out their message. You know, I get very, very angry. Very angry. I don't I don't even get I don't I used to, let me take that back. I recant that. I don't even get angry anymore when black men attack my sexually complicated past. Oh, I don't even cry like that no more. I do, but I don't. I don't even flinch anymore when people talk about my trauma. It's like when they used to make me stand up. I remember they used to make me stand up butt naked. And they would take a broom and whack me in my back just to try to get me to cry. Even to the point where the broom started to break on my back. How many whacks does it take? That's what they would say. How many whacks does it take to make a nigga crack? How many whacks does it take to make a nigga crack? This wasn't white people that were doing that to me. These were my own people taking me, making me stand up, and beating me and laughing. The one thing I make sure they were never going to get me to cry. You were never going to get me to cry. I just got angrier, fucking more angrier, and more angrier. But you were never going to get me to cry. Even when they took little ashes from their cigarette and flicked it on me. Hmm? Even when they took doggone sticks and would hit me in my legs. Even when late at night they threatened to kill me. Even when they would try to make me have sex for hours and hours, lay in the bed with men and women. I was brave. They were never gonna make me cry. They were never gonna make me cry. There's nothing y'all can do in this space to make me cry. There's nothing y'all can tell me about me. There's nothing y'all can tell me about how I look. There's nothing y'all can tell me about my color, my hair. Nothing y'all can tell me about my sexuality that I have not heard. There's nothing y'all can say to me that ever make me feel less than. At the end of the day, I know y'all got no fucking power. You don't. Not in this space. You don't. I done heard it, and I done been through so much. I done seen women have stillborn babies and taken and they put them babies in the trash bag. I done seen a whole horrific amount of shit from my people that some of y'all couldn't even fucking live through. There's nothing on social media anybody, man or woman, can say to me that can honestly hurt me. Because I define me. I don't need no voice. I don't need no fucking goddamn any kind of male fucking group. But I'm not gonna I'm gonna tell you right now, black men, you don't have no power. You don't. You don't. I've seen what true power is. You don't have it. I don't care what group hears that shit. You don't have no power. Money? You think money is power? It's not. I know what true power is. I know what true power is. True power is when you can control a life. True power is when you can control laws and bills. True power is when you can put fear that literally when you're laying in your bed, somebody can come in your room and snatch you up, do whatever the fuck they want. Ain't a goddamn thing you can do about it. And you can hear the person in the next room screaming and hollering, all kind of shit. And all you can do is roll over and literally just look at the wall. I know what fear is. And I've seen power. I know what it's like to be put into a car, ridden down the road. Literally, you don't even know what these people are going to do to you. And the only solace you have is literally you have some doggone saltine crackers and some water. See, I could talk about my shit. I feel emboldened when I talk about it because I get to tell myself, fuck my deployments overseas. That I've already been to hell. Sat there. Grew stronger in it. Ain't jack shit. Any man or woman can tell me. There's nothing y'all could tell me. I don't give a fuck if y'all were to take my doggone clippings of this and turn it and turn. There's nothing you could do to turn it against me. This is why I know. This is why I know we're not ready for that level. Because see, that would mean you have to face your demons. Huh? See, everybody got that smoke for that YouTube talking beef. But see, not a lot of people actually have that smoke for actually facing them demons. Never had a problem. Never had a problem. I'm not gonna say, listen, I'm not gonna say Mimi don't go through it with me. God bless her for that. And I'm sorry that I do put her through it. And I tell her, you have all the rights not to fuck with me. You don't have to bother with me. I tell her that every time. And I don't tell her that because I hate her. It's just that I know that I'm hell to deal with. See, y'all always wonder why a lot of people, men and women, especially when they got like they have issues sexually, while they're like, it's because they're battling themselves. And yes, they do want somebody to be with. Yes, they do want to find peace. Yes, they do take, get involved with a lot of sexually complicated deviancies and stuff because they are trying to make sense of whatever sense that they have left of their humanity. I've seen men, hands still shaking. They thought they were a grown man because they had sex with a woman. And I'm like, were you really in control, bro? Yeah, bro. I did. Were you really in control? Was she in control? Grown men, 14 and 15, being sunned by older women. Being given herpes, chlamydia, STIs. I've seen men put into gangs, initiation, they being sodomized. Getting there, getting touched on. Well, I know about everything. See, I know we all want to talk about the church. Well, I could talk about the church. Well, I understood exactly. I understood exactly. I just haven't talked about Kirk Franklin and his child. I just haven't talked about that. I could talk. I could do. Listen, there is nothing BMT I cannot sit. I can sit at almost any table. This is why I don't feel no type of way when I sit among different groups of pools. There is nothing new to me, and there is nothing new to me ever. How can y'all? How can y'all judge me? Like honestly, I'm more so the more accepting person in this space to talk to people, men and women. I'm more accepting to talk to people, but actually, I can empathetically understand why some people aren't. I don't have a problem going to therapy. I have no problem going. I have an amazing therapist. You can do an intake, and then after that, you can start to do a telecommunication. So if you don't want to go there, you can literally sit there on your phone, on your smartphone, instead of sitting there on YouTube, and you can do a therapy 101. And I'm not afraid to say that. I literally, I believe in my heart of heart and my soul of soul that our people need to go to therapy. We need if there was reparation ever given, the first thing I would make sure is that it would be mandated that Black people go to physical traumatic therapy. I would mandate it literally for you to get your check or you to get any type of reparational grievance. You go to therapy. Why? Because I know the sexualization and trauma bonding is so real and deep embedded. We cannot even see it anymore. No, it's not that we can't see it. We choose not to see it. It's like when you believe something because you choose not to see it for what it is. This is why. This is why it is bad the way it is. Every group knows that there's a sexual trauma with our people. It's just that we just choose not to want to say it. We just choose not to want to say it. I'm over just jumping on the white man about it. I'm like, okay, we get it. Whatever happened back then, it happened. Now I have the strength and the power and the able body right here. Listen, I'm willing to say if somebody would say, "Can we get some donations?" Man, I would say, "Listen, bro, use my channel as much as you want." Cool. I'm not even focused on other groups. I'm focused on my group. I'm focused on my demographic. I'm focused on my gender. I have an easier time sitting down with gay black men talking about sexual abuse and trauma. Why? I don't know why they take it more seriously, but when I talk with heterosexual black men about it, it starts getting uncomfortable. Wait, so you're more comfortable when it comes to talking about consensual sex? You're more comfortable with talking about everything else, but when it comes to talking about sexual trauma and abuse going on right now, all of a sudden, it's amazing. Everybody has a child support story. Everybody has some type of story about everything else. But when it comes to sexual trauma, I know 3 out of 5 men don't say shit about it. They probably never will. And see, that's why we're so easily victim. That's why there's a painting red bullseye on our forehead, but we'll never say anything. We'll run that shit to the grave. Mind you, it's funny because most traffickers go to the African continent to literally pick up children. That is the quickest, that is the easiest place to go to, is the African continent. African American children are the easiest kids to traffic for sexual trafficking because nobody says shit. Nobody ever says shit. Nobody ever gives a damn. Well, I mean, if it's a little girl, she might have a better chance. Even though we know black girls get kidnapped more than anybody. I mean, I swear, boy, hold on to your little black daughters. But black boys getting sexually traumatized, sexually abused, oh, they won't say shit. You ain't gonna hear nothing. Black boy come home, hey, I got an older woman talking to me, and you know what I'm saying, trying to hit spit game with me, dad. Good job, son. High five. Not that. Wait, hold up. Why is there an adult trying to talk to you? Hmm? Hmm? Why is there a man? Well, wait. If it's a man on a man talking to a boy, that's a problem. If it's a woman on a young man, congratulations, you are now a man. Yeah, I can see y'all. I can see y'all. Yeah, I can see y'all text. I'm sorry about that, official. I'll start reading y'all text also. I didn't know if y'all want me to read it. Me too. Hashtag me too. Yes, I agree. Me too. Me too is not. Me too is for not just for women. It's actually for men also too. Hashtag tell the truth. Thank you. That $25 ain't going to me. I'm gonna use that to go put it down for somebody. Actually, I know somebody who needs a pair of sneakers to go to work. So guess what? Thank you. You just bought somebody a pair of sneakers. You are so brave to share your story. Therapy should be paid for and given. Sexual abuse trauma should be spoken about in the community. They don't even like dealing with it with young black girls. So I know it's worse for black boys. Oh, it's just not. I mean, the first movie I ever saw that ever spoke about that. I'm not sure if y'all remember. It was Antoine Fisher. Not sure if y'all remember Antoine Fisher and how his sister, his the guardian's daughter was sexually abusing him. Now, this was a man, he was grown, and even as a grown man in the military, that literally he was still dealing with it. So I find it interesting that you gotta, why would you think that, well, it's only just something with the women that they deal with, and literally it's not something that has not happened to the men. And there are a lot of men that are dealing with it right now. Yep, you're so right about that. It did happen. Anton Fisher dealt with the topic. Yep. And yes, um, it did happen to R. Kelly. It did happen to R. Kelly. R. Kelly did. And look how he turned out. So when we see a lot of people going around, oh man, now he's having a lot of sex. He's out there X, Y, and Z. And I say, do y'all ever wonder why some of these people are very, very, very highly sexually active and charged? Do y'all ever? Nobody ever questions that. Nobody ever questions these type of things. I mean, these kind of things. I'm trying to let y'all know, man. Like it's not even funny. I remember, I remember why other. I remember I had other friends of other cultures, and literally, one of the things that one of my friends he got angry and in a fight with his with his dad because him and his sister used to hang out with me, right? And his dad, right, told his sister, be careful hanging around them black boys. They have sometimes they have predatory behaviors. And he was like, Dad, why would you say that? That's not cool. This is a white kid saying this about because his father, an older man, is telling his daughter, be careful hanging around a that black kid. They have predatory behavior. And I didn't get mad when he told me that because I had lived that. So when his dad said that about me, I didn't get angry. I didn't get angry that came out of the mouth of an older man about me because that same thing had happened to me. So when they told me that, I said, he's right. I was abused by predators of my own ilk. And all my friends did was hug me. All of them. That's all the kids in the cul-de-sac did. They just gave me a hug. They're like, sorry, dude. If you want to, you can stay at our house. I said, oh, don't worry. We don't live in that neighborhood no more. We don't live there no more. If you want to stay, and yeah, don't get me wrong. His dad did come back and apologize. His dad did come back and apologize. for the insensitive comment. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, you know, but I'm very numb. I'm very numb to a lot of stuff. That is so true. Listen to this: the black males whom the village doesn't embrace will burn it down to feel its warmth. If that is not the gospel truth, I don't know what is. Because if you cannot feel the warm embrace of your people, of the ones around you, after whatever happens to you, them same people, oh, they come back. And they come back with ulterior motives and agendas. And then you're like, why are they doing this? Why are they coming back? Why are they burning down? Why are they doing all this stuff towards us? Ain't you one of us? Oh no, you didn't embrace me before. You didn't care for what was happening to me before. So now I'm going to make sure you notice who I am. I'm going to make sure you feel who I am. And I'm going to destroy everything y'all have. And from the embers of our suffering, from watching the village burn, that child will get to feel the worst. He'll get to feel that warmth of just hearing y'all scream. See, misery, that's why they say misery loves company. Misery loves company. But if I'm in pain, you damn sure believe I want you to feel what I feel. It's the only way we can actually be united. It's when you suffer with me. And that's what trauma victims do sometimes, sadly. I was hurt. I was suffering. And y'all chose to overlook me. You damn sure believe I'm going to make sure you motherfuckers suffer. And this is why this space so fashionably breeds and grows and shit. Because see, misery loves fucking company. Pain loves pain. Doggone discomfort and doggone putting down and social bullying. Oh, they love each other in this motherfucker. Why? Because that's the hot topic. That's the hot button. See, I understand. See, I don't mind. See, I might not have much, but I don't mind opening up my door and having you sit down. I may not have a fancy table, but I have a table. And I might not have chairs, but I know we can stand at a table and eat together. I'm not perfect. I know I have my moments. I have my nigga moments. I do. I do. I do. I have my time where I just, I just have fun. But I definitely don't forget that, hey, I want to make sure that men and women have a voice. Yes, men and women have a voice. I do not just, well, this is supposed to be something for black men. No, I have this for all groups of people now. I'm not even called black male talk anymore. I'm just called business minded talk. I literally, and it's about my business. I'm about my business. I have a mindset and I definitely want to talk. So I definitely want to be able to talk with people. But I understand I know that people want to say that, hey, maybe if you open it for black male advocacy, but we don't have a voice. Well, motherfucker, what voice are you banging for? You ain't banging for what I'm banging for. You're not supporting for what I'm supporting for. Yeah. So what? Why should I? care about what you got going on. I don't have a contention against child support. I'm sorry, y'all don't. Y'all, I know a lot of people want me to talk about child support, child support. I don't have a contention against child support. I don't. Take care of your fucking kids. I don't. Some people hate me for that. I just say, just take care of your kids. I wasn't always in the home with my children, but I still took care of my kids and their mother. And if she ever needed me, guess what? I was right there. I was right there. I never had a problem. I never had a problem helping out children and men and women. If I had it, I didn't mind doing it. If a brother said, "Hey, he needed a job," I never had a problem going down to the grocery store and talking to try to help them get a job. I never had a problem trying to help elderly people. I never had a problem sitting down listening to women. I never had a problem sitting down listening to men. I never had that problem. So most people, when they have their social media narrative, I do not care sometimes. But all I ask them, "Hey, man, are you doing the best you need to do?" Well, the mother's not allowing me to see my kids. I get it. Okay, it does happen. I understand that. Bruh, go to court. What is it that the court is saying that you cannot be allowed to see your kids? Do you have to do supervised visits? Okay, go ahead and do supervised visits. After so many supervised visits, guess what? You can go back and literally go ahead and go see and say, "Hey, I've done supervised visits. I've done um, child development therapy. Guess what? I follow the rules. I want to be able to see my kids. Guess what? They cannot overlook that. They cannot. They're gonna have to show and prove what are you so dangerous about. But see, you're saying, "Oh man, I ain't got time to go to court. I got to go to work." Listen, I my prerogative for going to work is to take care of my kids. So why would I not make it my prerogative? There's no job in the world that over circumferences my, you know, there's no job that ever that, no, there's no job that ever circumferences me and over my children. My children are my first job. My family is my first job. Not the job is over my family. The hell? My family comes first. Always. My loved ones come first. What is the point of listen, what is the point of me as a man if I'm supposed to just work as a slave? And I'm not saying that you gotta have kids, but I'm just saying that I mean, tell me your prerogatives. All I hear about make BMT, make money, make money, make money, make money. I'm never listen, dude. I am well over blessed. Trust me. My bank account, I done sold y'all. I got all the stuff I want. Anything I ever wanted now in my life, I just go buy. I so agree. I so agree with you on that one, Kaz. I know it's not. I know it's not. I know it's like let's hurt people on purpose. Let's not follow the golden rule. I want empathy, love, and decency to come back to make a comeback. I do too. I do too. I do want people to have some type of empathy, to have some type of shred of decency, and have some type of shred of love and respect for other people. I do too. And if you can't get it amongst your own people, then who can you get it amongst? Who can honestly do it for you? Who? Ain't nothing worse than when you have to go to strangers for love and empathy rather than your own. I've had women who have been abused have come by my apartment and literally said, "Listen, I just need a place to sleep. come there half naked, half dressed, come there missing one goddamn shoe, walking there barefoot and everything. Listen, man, if you want to go wash up in there, you know what I'm saying? I could make you a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Girl thinking that she got to lay on her back to just find a nice rest. Now, man, you good. There's a couch. There's a blanket. Boom. I'll be right in my room playing my Xbox or my PlayStation. You straight. I've been that guy. Never felt like, oh, I'm getting taken advantage of. No, I just been that guy. I had dudes who have been abused verbally and also mentally. Hey, Joe, like, I just need a place to go, man. I feel like I'm going to commit suicide. I'm trying, Cass. One of the things that I'm trying to do is bring the light this right here. I'm not sure if y'all know this, but we have the highest recipiency of HIV in our community. I don't even want to talk about herpes. Let's not talk about herpes. God forbid. We done did those numbers. They don't even really bother checking for herpes anymore. You have to request to check for herpes. You have to request for that because it's so goddamn. It's so much now. God dang it, man. It's so bad. Like I said, I done listen. I done sat down and talked to nurses, doctors, therapists, psychologists. We got a whole plethora of people. If I need to go reach out to them again, I can reach out to them, and they'll tell you, "Yo, we got our issues." Shout out to Doctor A. Shout out to D. Durrell. Shout out to Information Man. Shout out to Attorney Michelle. Hmm? I can grab the professionals. Abuse is bad. And I know them professionals, they done seen it all. It always blows my mind when I grab the professionals, people try to tell them about what they need to do. And I said, how the hell you tell the professional and they're the main ones who will be on the front line dealing with it?
Hey, what's
What's going
going on?
on, Code? What's going on, Code? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
As well as can be expected. How's it going with you, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm just talking. I'm just talking about some stuff, that we don't like to talk about.
True, true. That's why I empathize with you when I first heard you. And I was putting individuals like Dr. Tommy Curry. You're familiar with him?
I've heard of them. I've heard of them a few times brought up in different conversations and also in different chats. I think I've even bumped into him a few times on different talks, on different panels. So, I've heard of Tommy.
Yeah, it's a lot of people who. That's why I put that quote in there. If you don't embrace us, we'll burn this motherfucker down to feel the warmth of it. And I think there are many people within our group, unfortunately, who they don't heed that. They don't even think about that. I think that's why we hear people talk about gangs, right? As if gangs are the uh, soldier arm of our group, when they're not. They're the motherfuckers who left out in the motherfucking cold, and they'll burn this motherfucker down to feel its warmth. People just, it's just human nature. We as humans, not really trying to make this thing about so-called sex, but it plays a role. Us as human beings, we like females more than we like males, you know, and so we will disregard a lot of stuff that males deal with, you know. If I was to give an example, I'm here in Detroit. Where are you, BMT?
South Carolina. South Carolina.
Okay, so today, I had a friend of mine. She told me about this black female who was a panhandler, and reportedly, um, she supposedly had gotten dragged into an Arab store, and the Arab supposedly beat her up right in the store. He took her from outside where there were no cameras, brought her inside where there are cameras. That's kind of, that didn't make a lot of sense to me, but maybe it did happen, right?
Well,
And the thing that poked out to me is that one of the bystanders, that was a black female who, had her EBT card with her phone. You can see it in view while she's videotaping and stuff. She said that he beat her ass like she was a man, end quote. See, that kind of saying right there lets me know that it's acceptable to beat our ass. People expect that. They expect motherfuckers to kill us, beat us up, or us to do it to each other. And for me, that's just unacceptable. What say you?
right. No, see, the thing about it is, and I'm sorry if that did happen to her.
Yeah,
Uh, we we don't hold the line or standard of protecting our people as we should. We don't. So if you don't have a level of protection, amongst each other, you know, and right, people are we're people would more so rather pull out the phone than at least try to scream, yell, call the police, or at least try to get a group of people to go over there and try to stop it. They'll pull out the phone and get the likes or the clickbait or the views.
right.
And so, you know, I'm hoping that y'all investigate and find out about that story. And if it is true, like I believe that's happened before with another time with, I think there was women up north that I think they got into a scuffle with the owners in the one store, and they got beat. They got beat by like three dudes versus two women, and they got beat really bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, y'all just need to shut down that store. I just need to shut down that store. Which they did. And I said, don't patronize them. Don't get them nothing. Don't do nothing. Um, Starve them out till they shut down and they can't do nothing in your community. If they can get away with that, they'll do it again. They'll do it again.
Mm.
And,
Are you talking about the beauty supply?
no, actually, no. It's not just beauty supply. Like this. This has happened. This happens more than it should to our people. A lot of things go unreported or talked about.
Right.
Like I said, I sat down with people who are in law enforcement, and they always say the same thing, like, "Hey, like black people don't ever report shit."
Mm.
I was like, no, 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 no. You know what I'm saying? They said no, black men don't report shit. Like we don't. I said, what do you mean? And this is a season officer. He said y'all don't report when y'all abuse. Y'all don't report rape. Y'all don't report stuff that happens to y'all children or your woman. So in the eyes of the world of the law, you're an easy target
Mm.
because it's you know how you watch them old films and how the one of the masters would do something to the slave, like beat him or do some crazy shit and say you better not tell nobody. So guess what he did? Guess what the slave would do? Not tell anybody. Speed it up a few years later, then some more shit would happen. The the slave would get into another altercation, or the black man would get into another altercation, and the constable or the police would say, "You better not tell nobody." Go a few more years later, then after that, the system would tell him, "You better not tell nobody what's going on, feminism, weave, and single mothers." And then now you have it where now we tell each other, whenever we see a wrongdoing, you better not tell nobody. So it's almost now, you get what I'm saying now? For so long, this black man, you kept being told, don't tell nobody. So now nobody is telling you not to tell nobody. You now psychologically, you don't tell nobody. So everybody knows that if something does happen to you, you're not going to tell nobody. If something happens to you on the job, the black man won't tell nobody. If something would have happened to the black boy in the home, black people aren't going to tell nobody. So now this is why we have an issue where things that do happen in our community, nobody goes to the black one. I mean, like I said, maybe you might feel differently, but nobody goes to the black man to tell him anything because they know he won't tell nobody.
Mm.
I'm not going to say, I don't want to say all, we don't want everybody to feel like that, but when it comes to us to get things pushed, and I believe we do have the economic, have the will. Exactly, Aaron. That's where to stop snitching.
Mm-hmm.
That's what stop snitching. Like, we don't tell nobody. Shit, all the wrongs in the world, we don't tell nobody. That shit kills me. That shit kills me. Literally, a little boy, a little boy, about 11 years old, was being sodomized by another boy. And you know what the other boys told him to do? Don't tell anybody because you will look weak. So for 3 months, this boy never told anybody. You know how people found out? Because literally his insides from his rear got ripped. He had to go to the hospital because he never told anybody. And when we asked them, why did you never say anything? You know what they said? Because we will look weak. Imagine that. Somehow somebody would tell them, you look weak for telling other people about you are being violated. Now, why would you think? Why do we think that we look weak for telling people that we are getting violated?
I mean, that's the manhood concept. Even
Mm,
it's imposed on us even when we're boys. I remember being told things like seem innocent enough then, but once you get a bit more worldly and you understand things, people telling you, shut up, stop whining, girls cry. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you know, what's the favorite saying? Man up.
man up. Oh yeah.
You're telling a little boy, most of us who haven't even been around a so-called man, to have those virtues and whatnot, we're around the women who we love. They can't transmit that, those skills. We were told to man up and shut the fuck up. And so I think that translates into motherfuckers getting older and watching movies and seeing people talk, and we develop the stop snitching or no snitching type philosophies. amongst ourselves.
Mm. Is it possible about around that time that we need to change up or re-edify that talking point because it's not doing us any good. Feel me?
Yeah,
Like I think this is why we do get taken advantage of, by the law and the courts and everything,
absolutely.
or just heck, just by the system alone.
Hmm. There's this kind of pseudo masculinity, and if a lot of us pay attention, I pay attention somewhat. I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but I will say this, right? When we look at people who we've been taught to look to for manhood, right? Black manhood specifically, right?
Uh-huh.
When you look at what their ultimate talking point is, they're talking about manhood. If you're talking about Martin Luther King, if you're talking about Malcolm X, let's just take those two to be the main sources, right?
Hmm.
Uh, a lot of their argument revolved around manhood. Like, let me give you a quote from Malcolm X, right? Out of his mouth to our ears, right? And people can look this up who's listening, right? He said, no one will give you freedom, liberty, or justice. If you're a man, then you take it, right? End quote. That was what he said even before he got murdered, right? Now, the thing for me is I can appreciate all of the things that he said, made me feel good, made some of us feel empowered to, maybe even change our lives if we were just doing just total crazy things, right? However, when I look at that quote that came from his mouth, right, the question became to me, no disrespect, but what was he a man? Did he take it before he was killed? Did he take freedom, justice, and liberty before he was murdered? Was he a man?
Mm.
Martin Luther King said the same thing if we pay attention to what he was talking about manhood, right? He said a lot of other things too. Paying attention to the crux of what he was talking about. He was talking about black manhood to take care of black women and black children, right? And there's this kind of pseudo manhood that's going on right now, you know, and we don't want to deal with it. And pseudo womanhood, for that matter, because the question becomes, um, if there are criteria to be a man, all right, what are the criteria to be a black woman? Because that's something that we really don't question, as long as she can have children, you know.
You know, but here's the thing about it that grips me. When I'm looking at it now, where I'm seeing more of the black woman counterpart, she's getting into uh law. We have it where 19 black women judges ran in the state of Texas, all got on at the same time.
Mhm.
South Fulton County, Georgia. That's a all black woman um um district. Like they from the judges, the county clerks, and all of they're all women. Now these things can't be happening by choice. Now I said I need to see the counterbalance to the men. If we really want to boys, we have to get in positions to where we're heard. I don't. I'm not going to say. Well, guess what? Certain basketball player. I don't care for no basketball player. I don't care for no rapper. I don't care for no social media YouTube guru. I want to see somebody that has some type. Listen, we can have all the contingency against Tarana Burks, but Tarana Burks, guess what? She done made an icon thing. But I'm like, well, dang, where's black man? Where's our icon? Shit. I mean, goddamn. I never forget. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you remember Raz B. You remember Raz B?
Yeah, from B2K. Yeah.
Now the Raz. Now when he came out, he started talking about it openly. This is before there was social media like that. Nobody took it seriously.
Yeah, they made fun of it.
When the thing came out about watching doggone when we saw doggone Lil Wayne calling Birdman daddy and kissing him on the mouth, ain't nobody question that shit.
Hmm.
Nobody, mind you, nobody question that. Then when Diddy and when Diddy was talking about him and Usher used to sleep in the same bed, ain't nobody question that shit. I was like, well, goddamn, dude, all the shit. Maybe we should stop letting the goddamn rappers talk for us. Like, stop letting the entertainers talk for us. But these motherfuckers, they don't even be hiding this shit.
Right. True.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, so okay, so I need that. I would want an off cold brother like you. Maybe I would want to see you like, hey guys, I'm gonna be running for district attorney, bro. Say less. I'll have 15 brothers going out there getting your name out there. 'Cause guess what? At least I know somebody is gonna be a hold accountability for
Hmm.
stuff that happens.
Hmm.
If we power is not just given, it has to be attained, it has to be held, it has to be attained. You got you can go look it up throughout the history books. I mean, Shaka had to go. He had to go take that power.
I
He had
think
to
I,
go take it.
I think that's the difference between specifically our culture right now. In regards to manhood, right? Vast majority of us have been taught that manhood is individualistic. That's why you can get a lot of us saying that man, do I got me in mind, right? But before any of us were born, we heard people talking to us about things like white supremacy, right? See, how I view it is that white supremacy is a group sport. You know, it's not individualistic. And that's how they always talked about it. But however, when we talk about manhood in our own group, it's about you being individual. You conquering other black males specifically, more so because that's what we be around mostly, right? Doing better than them, not getting with them. I mean, if you were talking about rappers earlier, right? We have rappers who say that they're pro-black, i.e., people like um, the deceased now, Nipsey Hussle, Killer Mike, um, what's his name, Tip, right? So they talk this black empowerment stuff. But see, what I see is something different. I see our culture manifesting in their behaviors because, see, we've been taught that you want to be the king where you are. You don't want no motherfucking other kings that you're allies with. You know what I'm saying? You want everybody to be your subordinates or looking up to you. And that's a problem. And if we can't face it, I mean, it's going to face us. Period.
No, and see that's the thing about it. Like we don't have a voice like that, like we should have. We don't. We don't push back for the voice. that we need to have. And it's I always hear get the money, get the money, get the money, get the money, get the money. And listen, I'm so tired of always being. I keep trying to tell people it's not always about the fucking money, man. It's not always about the money. You have to go get things that literally garner your power, so that way you can actually have influence in your environment. Well, it's
And,
nothing I can do about that. Yes, you can.
and you know what I think about what you just said? I think it's something really simple that unfortunately we bypass. You know, life is about people and relationships. If you're talking about power, you're talking about relationships with people, because no one is powerful alone and they don't have people behind them, right? But again,
Right.
that goes against the nature of how we've been taught, unfortunately, to be individualistic. I got mine, get yours. It won't work.
Mm,
The
right.
culture itself is against everything we say because, when I look back, I heard people in different generations saying the same shit we saying now, maybe using certain different words, but they were saying the same thing. So that to me lets me know we crazy as dog shit. Crazy as a dog chasing his own tail.
What do you think? Um, what do you think, honestly,
Mhm.
we might be able to do to break this generational curse, or just to start? What do you think might be some positive move? Like, but I'm looking at it that there's nothing. You can't do nothing for the men. You can't do nothing for the woman if you can't do nothing for the men.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I stopped trying to. Well, we need to get these women back in line. But I'm like, well, shit, they're gonna be like, well, motherfucker, what are y'all doing?
Exactly.
That's gonna always be the clapback. If I can't tell feminism and weave, I can't tell Kaz, I can't tell none of the women in the chat, black or any of the women in the chat, yo, like, y'all need to do this, y'all need to shape up, y'all need to come back and submit. They're gonna be like, well, hold up, bro. Submit to what?
Right.
You can't even get your own brothers to listen to you. So you want us to follow you when what would that get? What would that get us?
Nothing. Just
And
feel good shit. Like, you know. Go ahead.
no. I'm just saying. And this is like no. I mean, you could if you disagree, bro. You have the full on right. I like to have the conversation, but
No.
and I welcome the women to come up and share their thoughts. But I'm just looking at it like that. Literally, there's so much going on about this that it literally it's right now. This is like one of the big things of why a lot of the women have a problem of saying like if y'all can't take y'all own traumatic issues seriously, how can y'all ask us to take y'all seriously?
I mean, I agree with you. And I'll say this. I want to add this that there's one thing that I suspect is happening. It's been happening before I was born, but a lot of us don't want to deal with it. And when we do deal with it, we kind of, you know, don't deal with it head on, right? Our
Hmm.
group is matriarchal. Okay. Now, whether it's been bred that way or whatever, that's beyond the point. I only deal with where we are now, right? We're matriarchal. What do I mean by matriarchal? The most important and influential people in our group are black women. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that that's a horrible thing. However, uh, the repercussions of that within this environment has shown that it doesn't work. Period. Now, if anybody has evidence to the contrary, where um, it's helped us. It's made less black women say the certain things that some of them say when they say, well, you supposed to be the man, you know. But
Mhm.
see, that's something that that whole manhood facade comes in. We haven't dealt with that yet, and that's a hard topic that we really don't want to deal with. That we're matriarchal, right now. I don't know if we could, in the context of the society that we are born in right now, that we live in, that we can make that shit work, because I haven't seen anybody really do it, you know.
Well, okay, so let's ask this question. Are we matriarchal because that the men aren't assuming leadership? Because if because if you're not going to do it, then can we get mad at the women for doing it? Can like there's no but I would ask, like, is there anything stopping the black man from getting a home, from going into student or city council, or is there anything stopping you from having your own power?
I would say I would say culturally, yes, because that's not really something that, even though they say that 50% of black men are in the middle class, and 50% are don't have children, are single and unmarried, right? And they say 60% are in the middle class with no children, right? And that's
Okay.
something that comes from blackdemographics.com. It's not no white site. It's uh, black stats by blacks for blacks, right? Now, I don't necessarily know what that means, if that's true. Like, what does that say about us? What does that say about the whole so-called gender war that people are talking about? People been talking about before we was born. You know, um, there are qualified dudes who, certain black females could be like, I would rather be with them. Maybe they don't want them. Those guys. Maybe they don't want them. Maybe they want who they want. That's fine. They have a choice, right? Just like black dudes have a choice. But to get back to what you were talking about, I think there is a kind of cultural thing that we're kind of taught to, if we're going to boss up as so-called men, as black men, mostly we need to do that on the behalf of other people, not ourselves, you know, if that makes sense.
Okay. Now, okay, so let's look at this. For the men that are the 50% that are not having babies, that are have a lot of free time on their hand to do whatever they want to do. These men, what are they doing that these women and men that have all these babies and, and going out there that are not being the other 50%? What is it that they are doing? Because how, like, but I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm just asking, like, if that's the case, then why aren't these empowered men?
Hmm.
Why ain't they fighting? Why ain't they? Why ain't they out there banging the drum to? You know what I'm saying? You can't. I mean, how? Like, how is that possible? That other groups, their voice is being heard, but these so-called productive black men, they're not trying to be heard.
I think it
Or
might
do
have
they care?
to do with what
Go
I
ahead.
said earlier. I think it might have something to do with what I said earlier. Those black males, including myself, who are not really thought about, not really put in positions by the group, even if it's black women who control it, or black males who think they control it or whatever, those black males who do good, typically they are even taught by our own culture to get out of here. What does that mean? Get away from black people. They move to white areas and they continue on doing what we learned in our shit, do for self, right? And so,
Okay.
just like I was saying earlier about, a lot of black people talk about, when they talk about uh, fighting and shit, they try to act like Crips and Bloods and all the gangs and shit, gang, and all that kind of shit. Like that's supposed to be our warrior arm. No, these are the black males, including those black males who get their education and leave, whether they come from a intact family or not. Mostly they're gonna come from a non-intact family. When they leave, they're those black boys who will burn down or watch the village burn to feel its warmth because it didn't embrace us. That's just what I think.
Okay. Now, in looking at that, right? But I'm supposed to be doing a power talk with some women about power moves. I just did one earlier talking with a woman. She owns her own bakery and business, and she's and I know some men who are out there getting it. I don't when I hear the talk on you know when I hear the talk about black people are leaving the community, you know, and I would ask them, is the community best serving them black people? I would ask that question. If my community is not going to speak up if I'm wrong, how can I trust them with my child out there in the street?
Right.
If the community ain't going is going to just pull out a phone when my woman is getting raped or beat at a gas station for some goddamn views for a YouTube channel or World Star or whatever, versus like somebody go over there and stop the shit, then I'm sorry. I'm going to take it to where I know that, you know, am I my brother's keeper? Because if you're not going to keep or hold a standard, then no, you do not get access to me. You don't get access to my children. You should not get access to no goddamn pussy. You shouldn't get access to no dick. If you are literally not going to hold a standard, if you're not going to hold them deviants and them people that are doing harm to the good black people, but there's a difference between the nigga and the goddamn black person. And
Mhm.
if I can't hold you accountable, then no, I'm going to take the good child or the good person and I'm going to remove them from you. I know it sounds bitter, but see, I get tired of hearing that the good ones die and the bad ones get to live on.
Mm.
No, you should have a right to go on a cruise trip, right? And not have to worry about your house being broken into. Or you should have the right to, when you go to work, after buying yourself a nice 60 or 70-inch flat screen plasma TV, guess what? You should not have to worry. Well, damn, hopefully, you know what? When I go to work after working hard and busting my ass, not saying other communities don't got this, I don't want to wonder that if somebody is going to go in and steal my shit. I don't want to have to wonder that my child is going to get raped or my son is going to get his ass beat because he has two parents or he has on a nice pair of sneakers.
Right.
No black person should have to wonder that. Crime is a vicinity type of thing now. It's a vicinity. If we were to ask black women, who do they worry more so about? And I'm just being honest. If we were to do a poll, who do they worry more so about beating or raping them? Would it be A? the white man, or would it be A, the black man in their vicinity? And we might be scared to find out. And I'm not caping for no white man. I'm not. But
Mm-hmm.
they worry more so like, is that black man gonna have his my best intentions? Just like black young men wonder, yo, do the black women, are they gonna help me? Are they gonna want to be with me? Are they gonna support me? These conversations happen all the time. All the time.
I would say this. Let me add
Go
this.
ahead,
Like
go ahead, go ahead.
there are certain sayings that have been said through through generations, right? Like certain things that you and I are saying right now. It didn't
Yeah.
just start with our conversation tonight, right? Like let me give an example, like holding someone accountable, right? Now, within this society, typically when people who understand this society talk about holding someone accountable, that means that the person who they're holding accountable, it's not just a vote, it's that they depend on them for not just a vote, but sustenance, money, support, backup, right? So when I hear us say that,
Go
it's
ahead.
not it's not realistic. I don't care what person, even when we talking about Barack Obama when he got elected, right? People like to laud, specifically white people, saying that yeah, black people voted for him overwhelmingly, everybody, damn near everybody, right? Uh,
Mhm.
However, it was just a vote, okay? It was no money. Well, I ain't gonna say no money. Let me retract that. Not no money, but it was very little fucking money in comparison to other groups like, let's say, the LGBTQ who lobbied him too, right? We don't even talk about politics unless it's just in the vein of us saying, well, racist white people are Republicans, and Democrats, white people, are for black people. Now, let me go to this, right? There's only one thing that's been built in this country, one faction that was supposedly supposed to deal with African Americans specifically, political issues, right? And that's what they called the Congressional Black Caucus. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Now, I I went to read up on them, right? And there's something called a motto, right? Let me read to you what their motto was when they first got together, right? It says this quote: Black people have no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interest. End quote. Right?
Uh-huh.
Now, it seems like there's some contradictions going on because everybody who's in the Congressional Black Caucus are in one party, and that's the Democrats. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not for Republicans or Democrats. I'm just talking about the motto that the people who were talking about being political affiliates for black people or spokespersons, women and men, this was their motto. They're not even doing that right now. It's like yes, Democrats are our permanent motherfucking friends. This is a lie. So we're playing a deadly game, and most of us don't even want to talk about that. That ain't even a topic. But we want to talk about holding political people accountable when our foundation is even fucked up. That doesn't make sense to me. It shouldn't make sense to us. And I suspect that we will continue to get our ass whooped because we just don't want to think outside the box.
Uh-huh. Now, what is it that is okay? We have all this stuff happening right now with Joe Biden.
Mm.
We have all this stuff going on with different politicians. Why is it not possible? Because honestly, Everybody's voice is being heard, but that child's voice. And it's not like you have to have a political party to get your voice heard. Um, I was just looking at a I'm gonna do a show about a basketball about a Asian dude because we already know that they just had an egregious thing just happen to them. Um, to the Asian community, my heart goes out to them about you know some crazy nut job shooter um that went there and started shooting up. He killed all those Asian women because he had a sex addiction.
Mhm.
So guess what the Asian people gonna do? They're gonna flip that. They're gonna flip that towards them. They're gonna flip that towards them, and they're gonna use that. Say, hey, we need to be a protected class.
Mm.
And so, can I get mad if they do that? Nope. And I will do that same fucking thing. I do not get mad when I hear black women running up there to the state house and say, hey, you see what just happened to us today? I need protection. They don't run up to black men and say we need protection. Shit. They ain't gonna go to us.
Yeah,
They're
we
gonna run
can't
to
even
that.
protect ourselves, so they ain't running to us.
Uh-huh. Now, the thing about it is, and I'm gonna say that off code,
Mm.
is it that we can't protect ourselves or do we care to protect ourselves? There's a
Tomato,
difference.
tomato, tomato to me. Whatever, because I
Well,
try to deal with what's happening versus what I feel should be happening, right? Because that's
mm,
more practical. Like what
right.
is and what is not happening versus, yeah, we can do that. We say possibilities and all that. Anything is possible. The question is it probable? Is that what we're moving towards? And I say no, unfortunately.
Mm. Because see, that's the thing about it. I want to pressure at like, hey, like, do we want to be protected versus, are we trying to get that, you know, level of protection? You know what I'm saying? And if we're not trying to get that, then that's going to be a really big problem. That's going to be a problem because if we're not trying to get that type of protection, then shit, we're pretty much dust to the wolves. We're pretty much dust to the wolves. Anybody going to take advantage of us? Hell, I would take advantage of somebody, from a standpoint of I know you ain't trying to protect yourself. Then I mean, that's why they always say protect your neck.
Yeah.
If you ain't going to protect yourself, you can't ask for other people to give a shit about you if you're not going to protect yourself. That's just it sucks, but it is something that is definitely happening. And black men don't care to protect themselves, and they don't care to protect that of what's around them. Then it's safe to say that the well, I feel like this. If I were to try to strike at you, you're going to put up your guard to protect yourself.
Mhm.
You know, you're going to do that naturally on impulse. That's going to be your driving factor. If somebody were to strike at you at the job, right,
Mhm.
your main prerogative will try to be, hey, this person is trying to put their hands on me. I want to bring awareness to them. I want to talk about it. I want this person brought up on charges. I want them gone.
Right.
That's fair to say. That is fair to say. And I want you to be able to say that out loud because guess what? That should not be overlooked. That
True.
should not be overlooked. Under no circumstances should that be overlooked for you as a man.
I think a lot of times, when we talking about, protecting ourselves and stuff like that, I think in the concept that we've been raised to think about manhood, we mix up force with power. There's a difference between force and power. Like if I meet you individually on the street, I could force you to shut the fuck up or I could hurt you, you know.
Right.
But that's not power. Power is the ability to influence other motherfuckers to hurt you or to band against you or to stop you. And we just don't, that's just not our culture to think like that anymore. I mean, maybe it was like that before. I got some glimpses of it, from different generations. Just like, when we're talking about holding people accountable, the best, uh, the best example I could think of was the bus boycotts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Generations ago, right? Is way more effective than how the fuck we do shit now because they hurt people by saying, you know what, we a fucking carpool if a black person got a car, or we'll walk from where the fuck we are. And we're not going back until you change some shit, right? That was much more effective than us getting out there and so called marching right now.
Right.
And we just got away from that shit, and I want to say this to some of the people who may be listening. I'm only talking about the politics because that was what we were talking about. However, there is also a different stream of that where we're talking about like individuals like Asians or some Arabics and shit. A lot of them, they don't focus, even white Jews, they don't really focus on politics like that. They focus on having a culture that they look out for each other, as far as economically and all of that kind of stuff. It's in their best interest. And so they build their bread. But a lot of the conversation that we have is mostly steeped in politics, trying to, uh, as Nelly Fuller Jr. said, begging white people.
Well, the thing about it is, you can't ask. Here's one of the biggest things I always say to people, and they always say that they argue with me about. You can't ask for something of someone else if you're not willing to do it for yourself.
True.
Um, I can't ask somebody to clean up my house, regardless of if I knew. Let's say a child come over to my house and they junkie up my house. Okay. After that, I can. The most I will try to have to do is say, "Yo, you got to get out. Gone. You can't come back." But then from there, it's gonna be up to me if I want to clean up my house. Now I can sit there and say, "Well, I want them to come back and clean it up." But if I go clean it up myself, then I have a better feel of if I clean it up and I set up certain policies that, hey, when kids come here, they take off their shoes. When the I let other people know, hey, if you come in to do certain stuff in my vicinity, guess what? Now there's gonna be problems. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be repercussions. I don't mind going down there and doing certain stuff. Like when I talk about the issue with sexual abuse, I know that is not something that black men talk about, not openly. And
No.
because they know that black men don't talk about that, they can get you to talk about fucking women. They know how to get you to talk about doggone getting pussy. They know how to get us to talk about a whole slew of shit. But when it comes to sexual education, And accountability, listen, shit. Even the great Ayala knew, damn it. Listen, ain't nothing I can do for y'all motherfuckers after this point. Ain't nothing, y'all don't want that kind of work. You don't. We're joined here by Sheila E. What's going on, Sheila?
Good morning, BNT. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Off Cold and
So,
Chat. Y'all having a good conversation, and I just want to say a little bit things. And you was right, BNT. The black community do not want to talk about sexual abuse when it comes to the males and the females. For years, they done pushed that under the rug. And I think this is the time that we need to talk about it. This is the time that we need to hold people accountable for who have done that to our babies. Also, this is the time for us to realize that nobody is going to work for us when it comes to the politicians, it's time for us to be the leaders we are and stop looking for these leaders that have sold us out. Start getting yourself in position. Start going to those meetings. Start knowing your laws, your policies. Start making relationship with your mayor, your city council, your coding. BMT, you into a lot of property, so you should know your zoning and all that. The planned development will go in and out your area because I know quite sure you know your area where you live at. This is the time for us to really wake up because you look how they're stereotyping the Koreans saying they're getting attacked by blacks, but they never talked about last year was the anniversary of Latasha Harlan back in 1991 when the Caucasian store owner shot that 15-year-old girl over orange juice. Remember with the Rodney King?
Uh-huh.
They
Yes,
don't
I do.
talk about they don't talk about the two boys 2 weeks ago. He was Asian and the other one white, 15 years old, but now they're 16. They burnt down whole African American house with the mother, the brother, and the kids in it.
Mm.
And see, this stuff, they stereotype us. And that's what I'm saying. We get so caught up in the hype and they just pushing stuff right between our eyes and stuff. We really have to wake up. We really do. Because let me tell you something, they're not smart like everybody think they are. And you read some of the politics, it's always holes in there. And they use those little words, minorities, um, affordable housing, oh, black women, which black women are Indians, Latinos, mixed. I mean, a lot of words they use. They get past the laws and stuff. And this our part to stand up, call out the bull crap, and let them know we're not playing no more of their politic games. And this the time they're running for office. You got mayors, city councils, Congress, county legislators. They're all running. So y'all need to know who y'all candidates, how long they've been in that seat, what they vote for, what they haven't voted for, and then meanwhile, it's not about a party. What are they going to do for your area?
mhm.
If they're bringing more business, we know this type of time, a lot of people, mom and pops, that closed down their business. We know the water is messed up in some inner cities. Start holding people accountable because you know what? We can local because they work for us. We the taxpayers. That's the only thing I have to say.
I want to add this
No,
before I leave,
right.
though. See, Um, I agree with what she was saying. Only thing I can add to it is that I want the people who listening to look up Barbara A. Sizemore. I'm sure many people who are listening to this or who will listen to it afterwards, you don't know who the fuck she is. This is a black woman, right? In 1973, she became the first African American woman to head a public school system in a major city, and she was elected as superintendent in the District of Columbia Public Schools. Right now, what's so significant about her is that that's who I call a real queen mother. Now I want y'all to go listen to her on YouTube. Barbara A. Sizemore. Barbara Barbara Sizemore Sizemore. Right? She gave so much a fuck about black children. She dedicated her life to that shit. Right? And she did one lecture on the black, so-called conscious scene, right? And what was the name of her lecture? It was Black People Still Don't Get It. I want y'all to go listen to her. Here's what she had to say in the 1970s about how we just don't get it, and then juxtapose that to how we're talking now and how we're thinking now. We've gotten even more confused. Sometimes I like to say that when the science came down, our confusion went up. Maybe these motherfuckers need to put more signs up. They need to put the signs back up. I appreciate talking to y'all. Appreciate
No doubt.
hearing you, Sheila, BMT.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I hope we get to talk some more, man.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too, man.
You have a blessed day.
Go ahead.
I say, yeah, that's what I want to say. It's less about talking and more about, changing the laws and everything, bringing your proposal up there, and that's what we do. It's good out there boycotting and stuff, but at the end of the day, is you making change when you changing the laws and the policy, when you start messing with their money and stuff, because majority of money in the inner cities, they're making money off of blacks, poverty, high on crime. Black on black crime, police brutality. That's where they get all their money from. And it's sad when you go in the inner city, you see condemned buildings. The school system's not right. The roads is terrible. You see a lot of drugs out there. It's like, come on. I mean, we the only people. It's not territory, you know.
Right.
And I know I know Rome wasn't built in a day, but everybody could do their little area in one area, and that's what I have been doing. It's sad.
You know, I, at this point, like I said, I have no contention to keep. I don't care to try to work to get black men put on anymore. I don't.
Hmm.
I don't. I don't. It's nothing. It's just that I know that. Well, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna judge the whole for everybody. And I know a lot of people. You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient. No, I'm not. I'm not. Like I said, I am tired. If goddamn no, some people don't like Ayala or some other people don't like Sempier, and that's fine. We don't have to all get along.
Hmm.
When my message is being diluted, like I said, when I'm tired of people trying to tell me about my life or my journey or stuff that's happened to me, y'all can look up my resume of work. Y'all can look up the stuff I talk about. I don't know that many other content creators that talk about sexual abuse or trauma like me. I mean, other than that, I'll take it back. Underrated Darkness. I believe he
Yeah, he
has.
do.
He did. So, and he's the only other. See what I'm saying? He's the only other uh content creator YouTuber that has done that. So, other than that, nope. So when people come to me about, oh, you stole somebody else's story, I'm like, bitch, please, because honestly, like I said, um, no, literally, this is my life. This is crazy, man. Like I said, shit. It amazes me that when people do talk about this shit, this is why black men don't care to talk about these kind of things because they know that's what it's a joke, it's a mockery. So you know what? If you ain't gonna take it serious, then why don't get mad when I go to other groups and I fuck with them, whether they be white, whether they be LGBTQ or any other group, I don't want to hear shit from black people, mainly black men. I don't want to hear nothing. But I understand why our people go to other groups, why they rather fuck with them. I get it. I really do.
It's sad.
So when anybody come to me about, damn, BMT, you don't have no love for black people. I'm like, well, guess what? Y'all don't got no love for my fucking message. So don't ask me the same shit. Keep that same fucking energy. Keep the same energy.
But you know what, BMT? It's not about black and white. It's about evil and good. The end of the day it's about getting your message out to the people who hurting and been abused and been afflicted, and they need somebody who could understand and went through the same thing they went through. And that's what it's all about.
Well, that's what I'm gonna go to the people that are gonna bump with my message. That literally, yeah, I get what you're saying, Sheila. But I'm saying, and I had that even happen on your panel. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that shit happened to me. You know what? And I said, you know what? I take that one. But it wasn't good. I understand you didn't know the situation,
Yeah, and
but
that's why I apologize. Because now I know I apologize. Yeah. And I
but
apologize.
it's all good. Like I said, the thing about it is, I'm real about this. Like I ain't doing this for no clout. I know this. I real about this, but this is my life, my story. Ain't nobody else speaking up for me. Like, if it's already hard enough for a woman to talk about it, why would I not talk about it? Why would you think it would be even harder for a man to talk about it? Because a man, he will deal with the scrutiny of, well, ain't you like coochie? Ain't you enjoyed it? Then you have a good time? Ain't you supposed to be a man? Hmm? I done been through all of that. I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? So, and I spoke to some men who are bigger than me, who have been raped by women, who have been doggone taken advantage of. There's a guy who gets on the chats, Dion, that Dre. Damn, I had this goddamn thing. His baby mama took advantage of him while he was drunk. That was rape. I wasn't laughing at him, and she did it to him more than once. Not one time did he ever go to the police. Not to say that he shouldn't have, but he was like, "Nah, man, that shit happened to me." And now I got 2 kids, and he on child support. Now some people will never believe his story, but I looked at it and I said, "I'm sorry that happened to you, man.
But when
I'm
I
sorry
hear
that
your
happened."
story, BD, I feel your heart. I feel your pain. And the other individual I had to really pray on it was about cunning, sneaky, and all that other stuff. And the end of the day is I'm human, I make mistakes or whatever, but I get it right then. And now I'm like, wow, you know what? This is not something to play with. Because the end of the day is BT, that could have destroyed your life. And it's not but the grace of God that you got a family, a wife and kids. Because some people, when that happened to, they turn to drugs. They're not here today.
See, I don't mind talking about that. I done went through drinking. I went through coke. I went through a lot of stuff so that way I could try to forget or try to feel like, hey, you know what? Maybe if I do this bump, I won't feel the pain. Maybe if I go to this sexual excursion, I'll be around other people like me. Listen, I could talk about all kind of things that I did so that way I can feel that I can be that I can feel normalized. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, official? It's been a long time, fam.
What's up with it, man? It's actually my first time pulling up over here.
Well, I gotta rent you up, man. So I
Good
do a
morning,
lot.
Fisher.
How you
So
doing, Sheila?
you know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of people in and out through all my life, men and women, that had a lot of shit that has happened to them. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the stuff about the sexual deviancy and the lifestyle, I've been through all that stuff because of my addictions, because of what happened to me when I was a kid. So I know what it's like to be a swinger. And I do apologize, official, when I doggone cracked at you. But I said, you know what? How can I say that? My old lady even said, Joe, but you were also in that lifestyle too. So I apologize to you, brother. I don't want nobody else to speak. I apologize to you, official. You know what
Hey,
I'm
that's
saying?
what's up, bro. But I didn't think nothing of it. I mean, everybody have a right to their opinion, and I don't have a problem with people not agreeing with me. Even you know what I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. You know what I'm saying? I just
Everybody got.
and the thing about hang on,
I
let me
wasn't
get
fucked
this.
up about it.
No, like I said, and the thing about it is, like I said, um, and like I said, I know I haven't been over to Plash Channel in a while. Um,
Flat fuck with you, man.
you know what I'm saying? I haven't been tell him I'll be over there to check on him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I just been
plat
busy.
fuck
I've been,
with you, man.
huh?
Plat
Yeah.
fuck with you.
Tell him, yeah, I know. I haven't been over there in a while. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been over there in a while and chill with y'all. But I've been busy doing so much other shit and helping other people build up their stuff. Um, but like I said,
I started
a
doing me a
lot of
channel, man, since the last time you came over there.
yeah, man.
I got me a roadcaster for my birthday a few days ago.
What? God
I
damn.
I got some motherfucking clips, nigga. I got some clips. Boy, I've been
You
using my
go
shit for evil.
official.
I'm
I
I'm
mean,
very proud to hear that. Y'all gotta understand, man. It warms my heart when I'm seeing brothers and sisters that I'm watching them build up their brand from the ground on up. That really cool because that means they can get out their message of stuff of their lives, and we want more voices to be able to echo in the darkness.
man,
Good
it's
night, honeybee. Good night, dear.
but I wanted to speak about that. Like, anybody who would down somebody about something that they shared like that, I think is reprehensible. I think is repugnant, and I think that you are showing that you're a tasteless person. That you know what I'm saying.
Right.
That's my opinion. Everybody have a right to their opinion. Um, a lot of people don't agree with my opinions, and I mean, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And just be respectful to people, and and I think making fun of somebody's something that they shared to try to be positive assistance. Trying to help somebody else who might be going through something similar. I just think it's not a very nice thing to do.
No, I didn't mind talking about it because I know deep down there's other black men that have it but are afraid to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because then they'll get challenged about their sexuality or about their masculinity. You feel me? And that's always been a thing that was always challenged about us. You know what I'm saying? Whether how we dress or how we talk or how we maneuver or just anything, excuse me, they always will look at that, you know?
I
And
mean,
it
yeah,
go ahead.
it's always been like that, though. I mean, and to be honest, I don't really expect it to change.
Hmm.
It's
Right. I
just
don't. I don't. That's why I say
it's
it don't even bother me anymore, brother.
yeah, I feel you, man, and and it shouldn't, but the people that it is helping, you know, it's let it help them, and fuck everybody else.
No
Straight,
doubt.
straight up,
No
man.
doubt. I try to tell that to a lot of people like, listen, man, like, whatever you talk about, you know what I'm saying, or deal with, keep 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? I had a brother that wrote he made an amazing track And when he had us listening to it, I saw the emotion in his eyes. I saw the tear come from his face, but I could tell he put a lot into that track. That man put a lot into that. He said, "Man, I worked on this for a whole 2 weeks. I thought about every verse, everything I've been through with me, my kids, my kids' mama, and all the stuff and all the sacrifices that everybody made. And he just put it all into that." And I said, "Bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of you. You know what I'm saying?" I said, "When you ready to release it, I will gladly play your stuff on my channel." And sometimes it takes a lot of courage for people, you know what I'm saying, to talk about their past. I don't think people understand that. It takes a lot of courage. You know what I'm saying? Not just for I think the men definitely y'all need to talk y'all story. You know, every story is not just about child support. We got other things that happen to us that we keep inside, and this is why a lot of men go into drinking, go and get into abusive relationships, whether they be physically or verbally, or in dealing with people, or they just don't know how to deal with, society. You know, and I don't want our brothers to be like this. I don't. I want us to live an amazing fulfillment life. I want to see us all win. I want to see us all have ownership. I want to see our brands grow. I mean, he's a professional barber. Sheila knows how to work local government. That's something that we definitely need. There's a lot of good people in the chat right now, man. But
Yeah.
I don't want us to overlook the thing the our past.
You gotta look at it like this, man. Everybody gotta have haters. You
Mm.
know,
Right.
like it's just what come with the territory.
BMT,
That's
I'm
just
gonna ask you a question. Have
What's up?
you ever started about starting a profit in a nonprofit organization concerning what happened to you for other kids, but tell
I'm
this
I'm
story?
I'm with I'm with other groups. You know what I'm saying? I'm with other groups already that are doing that. Like I do a lot outside of the scope. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I come here. This is just a portion of me, but I go to halfway houses. You feel me?
I hear you. I hear you. You
Uh,
like me.
I
I
go,
hear you.
you know what I'm saying? I go to halfway houses. I go to trauma homes, um, places where like I had like when I got my PS5, I took my PS4, I took that to a child to a foster care home. Them boys didn't have no PS4. They were still on a PS3. I said, "Man, y'all can unplug that thing, man." I put that PS4 there. I gave them like 10 video games, two brand new controllers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Gave them three boys some new pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? The other boy, he's gonna be getting a job working at Burger King next week. You know what I'm saying? I gave them that stuff right there. I didn't have to do that, but I have friends and family that I know that are in that system. So I know what it's like. So I'd rather help them, and I encourage other black men. Yo, y'all want to be an impact. Go to those places like that, halfway house, foster care home, or other places where a lot of
Right.
our men are at, and go help them out.
Yes.
You don't even need to be on your social media. Go help them out, and I promise you, you'll see that will be the biggest impact you make. I brought these dudes at the homeless shelter. I bought them some box of cups of ramen. Man, they were so happy for that shit, Sheila. I shit you not. I went back and bought two more boxes. That cup of ramen, you can get a whole package of that shit. That shit's cheap. You can buy like damn two or three of them things like for less than $20. Give them that shit. Gave them some deodorant and some tube socks. Them motherfuckers, them brothers were good. They were good. They say thank you. I said, this was for me. This is for my chat from YouTube. I just gave them that shit. It's just a little thing. You ain't gotta be rich. You ain't gotta be no high value, 6-figure, all that other stuff. You know, no shout out to
Right.
anybody other than that. I just say you just gotta just do the work. Them boys were thankful for that PS4. I said, all y'all gotta do is keep up y'all grades in school, stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? One of them said he want to play football. He want to go play football. Cool. We'll try to get you a physical. I'm gonna talk to your guardian, try to get you a physical. I do this stuff. I'm really about my shit for our people. You know what I'm saying? It's just that some people use them people for clout. That's what happens to a lot of our people. So their message kind of doesn't get heard.
Right.
You know. So like I said, and there's a young boy in there. He got removed from his home because he was abused, physically and sexually. So he was abused. They had to remove him from the home. You know what I'm saying? So me and him, the only time he be talking is when me and him are playing Tekken. That's the most he'll ever start. He starts talking and opening up.
Kids love video games, man.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the easiest way to fuck with them is play some video games with them.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
You know?
I wish you lived in my area. I would have them young boys come down or go to your booth and say, hey, how many of y'all boys want to learn how to cut hair? I know a lot of young boys in middle school and high school that want to learn how to cut hair. I know a lot of them.
And you know what? Um, you never know, man. There's something like that'll change their life as far as just being able to support themselves.
Facts.
Right.
Like start a nonprofit for kids in foster care to get like trade degrees, trade school.
Mm.
That'll be a good thing where like they coming out there, they don't really know what they want to do. You know, they can go be a plumber or a carpenter or a barber or whatever, and get them the little fees that they need to get the little kid or whatever, to get their little tools or whatever. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be
I think
something
that
good.
I think
That'll
that
be
might be
something good
something I'm gonna
for
try
them.
to look into.
Instead of just giving them money and saying, "Here's a place to live," like here goes a way to go get some money.
You see, now that's something I might definitely need to actually start looking into, and hopefully we could. I'm gonna do my best to figure out how to go about looking into that because that is something. Again, that's why I try to tell people it's not something that money alone, like
Well,
us just giving people money alone, is going to fix it.
so all right, so let's say it could be like a group, like do like a group home situation, and make it to where like the kids is like in school during the day or whatever, and then but let's say they do their school, but they also let's say they're apprentice as an electrician or something like that, or as concrete or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That
Uh,
way, when they graduate high school, they also got like a trade where they can, like literally graduate high school and start getting to that bag to where like that they'll have a completely different trajectory. That way, by the time they 30, they got 10 years. They a journeyman. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
And
No,
they
that
Gucci.
actually sounds really dope. Like I said, because that can go a long way. I do have, like I said, I got one young man I know. He about 16 years old, and one of the things, we were sitting down talking at his school, and I said, "Yo, man, sometimes what's on your mind?" He was like, somebody told him like, "Hey, you only got like a few more years. You got to get out." So in the back of his mind, that is in his mind. Like, yo, like once you get a certain age, he's out the house. He has to leave. You know, he has to have somewhere to go. I mean, shit. If I had the official program where then he probably would have more time where okay, I can get into an apprenticeship for plumbing or carpentry or something like that, where
Go
he
get to
could be
that
making some
bag.
money.
You know, they'll
Right,
be 21 looking to buy a house.
right. You know what I'm saying?
25, 30 looking to buy a house.
Right.
And that literally is possibly one of the keys to probably
Cause they ain't got,
you
cause they ain't aimless. They ain't got nothing to do. Okay, they'll probably get some shit for college, but it's like you got to. That's a long time to get focused.
But you know
That's a,
what, guys? Official on BNT, this what you do. This what I had done to my board education. When I was running for school, I had came up with a proposal. Why they in school, they have a barber class, beautician, they have automobile, engineer, all that stuff. So by the time they graduate, they could graduate with their associate's degree. If they don't want to go to college, then they will also have that skill. My nephew today have two barbershops. He
mm,
always give back for the community. So what you need to do is hook up again. That's why I said, y'all don't know what you could use and take to your elected official. And they're like, wow, in school. So while they're in schooling, they could be doing that. And when they graduate, they have something under their belt. See, I
I
ain't
think
look at it
that
like that.
I think that'd be very dope.
I think you
Um,
got to do a proof of concept.
Cause New
I
York is
think
different. I don't know how they do it there, but New York, well, I brought a proposal. I brought it to my superintendent in the board education, and that was proved less than 3 months.
that's something that I could definitely start trying to look
Hmm.
into. I really believe so.
Because you gotta realize a lot of kids don't want to go to college, but look, they like cutting hair. A lot of girls like doing hair, homemade. They could start their own. They bring homemade back to school. They could start their own business, cooking their own little restaurant and stuff. Some people like sewing. They could start, doing their own little clothesline and stuff like that. We have all that in New York for our kids.
Mm. See, see, this is good. You know, because I'm telling you, it's just something about getting money that makes a lot of stuff just feel better. Like, yeah, I might have been fucked up as a kid, or I might have been, aimlessly and moved around and all this and that, but I got this.
And see, I don't real the board education get a lot of money for our kids. And they're looking for what can we do with this extra money. Some of that money been rolled over for years and years because they don't really know what to do with that money. So it's just sitting there. So when you come up with your idea, they're like, wow, you know, that's
And then
awesome.
and then you let the smart ones do the good shit. You had the
Yes.
little STEM shit for the smart kids. You got the engineering and shit, and you got the sewing and then you got the cattle and the agriculture and stuff like that. Like it's different lanes for everybody. And a lot of times people gonna go towards whatever their family doing anyway. Like if let's say daddy is an electrician, okay, let me go get this electrician. That way when I graduate, I can go work with dad.
That'll definitely help out. And also that could be you could also give local businesses incentives, and tax write-offs and incentives, for going to help out and mentor. You know what I'm saying? Like they could clock in and on helping out these children and saying, hey, like I got this person, I'm showing them and teaching them, and you know what I'm saying. That's definitely something to do. Is the city could give them incentives towards doing that. So it's kind of like it's pay it forward type of thing. You know,
Yes.
that actually would work.
And you gotta look at it. See, one thing about them, the politicians, because they taught me very well. They always like to put on their resume what they had done for the school system in their town and the city and stuff. So, you know,
Well, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this. Got the
Me
kids. I gotta
too.
get to school. We got a tropical storm coming like in a few more hours. I gotta get ready for
Oh,
all of them.
I'm gonna keep y'all in prayer. And you in South Carolina too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
All
I
right.
gotta. I'm
All right.
probably gonna
Everybody
go
have a
ahead and
blessed day.
Peace
yeah.
out.
Okay.
Like I said, official always definitely come on through anytime, man. If you ever have
Mm.
a topic, um, definitely email me, brother. I do topics, and heck, I gotta bring you on for um for an interview. I definitely want to definitely get the name of your channel and stuff. So make sure you
Yeah,
email me, see all that stuff, so that
I'll
way we
throw it.
can chop it up.
I'll throw it in
Tell
the back
Platt, like
chat
I
too.
said, I definitely will be through there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, tell him, you know what I'm saying? That's always one of the homies. I haven't been over there and sat down at the lawn chair with y'all in a while, man. But I
Ah
definitely need to come
man,
back through. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
been going. Man,
Yeah,
everything
man.
been going good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everything going good.
Yeah, man. I see y'all holding the line and blowing up. I be watching y'all from the clouds, man. And I be seeing y'all.
Trying,
Shout out to
trying,
Sir
man.
Ism. Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to the whole crew, man. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gotta get back. You know what I'm saying? Definitely I gotta sit with y'all. So I'm gonna see y'all guys later. Y'all check out my boy Official channel. This man, like I said, when he does music, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all buy his beats, y'all. Buy his beats. He makes good amazing beats, has good topics that are really charged and challenging. Also, shout out to my homie Platinum Elite. So I'll see y'all
Yeah.
guys later. Peace. Y'all have a good day.